The case management alert arrived at 2:17 a.m. on a Tuesday, flagging 17 hyperlink failures across my most critical appellate briefs. I'm Trevor Worthington, 42, media and entertainment partner at one of Louisville's premier partnerships. 20 years building entertainment law cases. 20 years trusting our digital infrastructure. 20 years assuming my briefs reached the courts intact. The notification sat buried in my morning email queue. Routine system maintenance, I assumed. Our IT department ran diagnostics constantly. But 17 simultaneous failures seemed excessive for random technical glitches. I pulled up the case management dashboard. The affected briefs spanned 6 months. All major entertainment disputes. All filed during critical deadlines. The hyperlinks connected to essential exhibits, licensing agreements, copyright registrations, trademark filings. Without them, my arguments looked incomplete, unprofessional. My stomach tightened. These weren't random failures. I opened the first brief. Filed 3 weeks ago for a music licensing dispute worth $12 million. The hyperlink to the master recording agreement showed as corrupted. I checked our document server. The original file remained pristine. Perfect formatting. Working links. Someone had uploaded a sabotaged version. I checked the second brief. Same pattern. Clean original. Corrupted filing. The third brief showed identical tampering. All 17 briefs had been systematically damaged before submission to the courts. The access logs revealed the upload timestamps. Each corrupted brief was submitted exactly 47 minutes after I completed the originals. Someone was monitoring my work, waiting, then replacing my files with broken versions. I scrolled through the user activity records. The uploads came from my own login credentials, my digital signature, my authorization codes. But I hadn't touched those files after completing them. My hands felt cold against the keyboard. Someone had my access information. Someone inside the firm. Someone who understood our case management protocols well enough to time their sabotage perfectly. The phone rang. Caller ID showed the Kentucky Court of Appeals clerk's office. Mr. Worthington, we need to discuss some technical issues with your recent filings. The hyperlinks aren't functioning properly. The judges are requesting clarification on several exhibits they cannot access. My throat went dry. How many cases are affected? 17 matters over the past 6 months. We've been trying to reach you for weeks, but your office said you were handling the technical corrections internally. I never received those messages. Someone had been intercepting communications about the sabotaged briefs. Managing the damage. Controlling the narrative. I'll need to review each filing immediately, I said. Mr. Worthington, I should mention, we've received complaints from opposing counsel about the quality of your submissions. They're questioning whether these technical failures constitute professional negligence. The line went dead. I stared at the case management screen, watching the cursor blink against 17 red failure notifications. Someone was destroying my reputation one hyperlink at a time. The sabotage started 18 months ago, though I didn't recognize it then. Desmond Blackstone had been my partner for 8 years. We built the media and entertainment practice together at our Louisville firm. He handled contract negotiations while I managed litigation and appellate work. Perfect division of labor. Complete trust. They invited me into their client estate planning meetings when Desmond suggested expanding our entertainment law services. High net worth musicians and producers needed sophisticated asset protection. I agreed to cross-train in estate planning fundamentals. Trevor, you understand complex financial structures better than anyone, Desmond said during our December partnership meeting. These clients need someone who can navigate both entertainment contracts and wealth preservation strategies. I spent 3 months learning estate planning protocols. Desmond guided me through trust formations, tax optimization strategies, and succession planning frameworks. He shared his client files freely, gave me access to his case management folders, taught me his billing methodologies. Partnership means transparency, he said. No secrets between us. I believed him completely. The first warning sign appeared in March. A client called about missing documents from their trust portfolio. I checked our files. Everything looked complete, but the client insisted we had promised additional asset protection instruments that weren't in their final package. Mr. Worthington, Desmond specifically mentioned offshore structures that would reduce our tax exposure by 30%. Where are those documents? I reviewed every file. No offshore structures. No 30% tax reduction strategies. Nothing matching the client's description. When I asked Desmond about it, he shrugged. Client confusion. They mix up conversations with their accountant and our legal advice. Happens constantly in estate planning. The second incident occurred in April. Another client complained about billing discrepancies. They claimed Desmond had quoted a flat fee structure, but our invoices showed hourly billing at premium rates. We agreed on $40,000 for the complete estate plan, the client said. Now you're billing us $68,000 with additional charges for document revisions. I pulled the engagement letter. Hourly billing structure. No flat fee arrangement. But the client had email confirmations from Desmond promising fixed pricing. Trevor, they're trying to renegotiate after seeing the scope of work required, Desmond explained. Classic client behavior. They agree to hourly billing, then complain when they see the actual time investment. I accepted his explanations, trusted his experience, ignored the pattern developing. The third warning came in May. A client's trust documents contained provisions I hadn't drafted. Complex offshore structures, aggressive tax avoidance strategies, instruments that pushed ethical boundaries. Desmond, did you modify the Henderson Trust after I completed the initial draft? Minor technical corrections, he said. You're still learning estate planning nuances. I cleaned up some language to ensure compliance. But the modifications weren't minor. They fundamentally altered the trust's purpose and structure, transformed a conservative estate plan into an aggressive tax shelter scheme. I started reviewing other files, found similar modifications in 6 different client matters, all showing Desmond's digital signature on documents I thought I had finalized. The billing record showed another disturbing pattern. Clients were being charged for my time on matters I hadn't worked on. Hours attributed to my billing code for services I hadn't performed. Premium rates for expertise I hadn't provided. I confronted Desmond in June. These billing entries don't match my time records, I said, showing him the discrepancies. Trevor, you're overthinking this. Estate planning requires collaborative work. Sometimes I handle client calls that relate to your research. Sometimes you benefit from my client development efforts. The billing reflects our partnership contribution. His explanation sounded reasonable. But the numbers didn't add up. Clients were paying for duplicate services. Double billing for single consultations. Premium charges for routine document preparation. I started keeping separate time records, documenting every client interaction, tracking every document I actually prepared versus what appeared in our billing system. The truism was undeniable. Desmond was systematically overbilling clients and attributing phantom work to my billing codes, using my reputation to justify premium rates for services neither of us had provided. But the estate planning fraud was just the beginning. In July, I discovered Desmond had been accessing my litigation files. The case management logs showed his login credentials reviewing my appellate briefs, discovery documents, and client communications. Always late at night. Always when I wasn't in the office. Why are you accessing my litigation files? I asked. Quality control, he said. Partnership requires oversight. I need to understand all our practice areas to make strategic decisions. But he wasn't just reviewing files. He was copying them, downloading my work product, storing my briefs and legal research in his personal directories. The hyperlink sabotage started in August. 17 major appellate cases over 6 months, each brief systematically corrupted after I completed the original. each filing damaged just enough to embarrass me professionally without triggering immediate suspicion. Desmond had been monitoring my work schedule, learning my filing patterns, timing his sabotage to maximize damage while maintaining plausible deniability. The access logs revealed his methodology. He would wait until I finished a brief and logged off for the day. Then he would access my files using credentials he had somehow obtained. Download the original brief. Upload a corrupted version with broken hyperlinks and damaged exhibits. Submit the sabotaged version under my digital signature. The courts received defective filings. Opposing counsel complained about technical failures. Judges questioned my competence. My professional reputation suffered while Desmond appeared increasingly reliable by comparison. I found the smoking gun in September. Hidden directories on our shared server containing hundreds of my original briefs, clean versions, perfect hyperlinks, functional exhibits, all stored under Desmond's access codes, with timestamps proving he had the originals before submitting the corrupted versions. He had been systematically destroying my litigation practice while building of his own competence, positioning himself as the reliable partner while making me appear incompetent and careless. The estate planning overbilling generated $300,000 in fraudulent revenue over 18 months. The litigation sabotage damaged my reputation with 7 different appellate courts and triggered professional negligence complaints from 4 opposing counsel. Desmond Blackstone had been methodically destroying my career while enriching himself through systematic client fraud. I finally understood the scope of his betrayal, but I needed proof that would hold up in court. Monday morning arrived with the weight of and the clarity of purpose. I had spent the weekend organizing digital files, printing server logs, and preparing for what would likely be my partnership with the firm. But Desmond's systematic betrayal demanded confrontation. I scheduled a meeting with managing partner Daphne Whitmore for 9 a.m. Her corner office overlooked the Ohio River, floor-to-ceiling windows framing Louisville's downtown skyline. She reviewed my packet methodically. Server logs, billing discrepancies, hidden directories, the corrupted briefs alongside their pristine originals. "This is extensive," she said, setting down the final page. "How long have you suspected?" 6 weeks of active investigation. The pattern goes back 18 months. Daphne reached for her phone. "I'm calling an emergency partnership meeting. This requires immediate action." The conference room filled within an hour. 7 partners around polished mahogany. Desmond arrived last, coffee in hand, projecting his usual confidence. His expression shifted when he saw the packets at each seat. "Trevor has uncovered serious irregularities in our billing and case management systems," Daphne announced. "Irregularities that appear to center on estate planning accounts and appellate litigation files." I presented the findings systematically. The estate planning overbilling first. $300,000 in fraudulent charges across 12 client accounts. Inflated hours. Phantom consultations. Services never rendered but meticulously documented in our billing software. Desmond maintained composure initially. "These could be clerical errors. Our billing system has known glitches." Then I revealed the litigation sabotage, the corrupted briefs, the hidden directories, the access logs proving he possessed clean versions while submitting damaged files under my digital signature. "This goes beyond billing errors," I said. "This is systematic professional sabotage designed to damage my reputation while enhancing his own." The room fell silent. Partners studied the day, server timestamps, digital signatures, the undeniable pattern of deliberate corruption. Desmond's facade cracked. "You're paranoid, Trevor. These technical issues happen constantly. You're seeing conspiracy where incompetence exists." "Then explain the hidden directories," I replied. "Explain why you have clean versions of briefs that were filed with broken hyperlinks. Explain the billing entries for client meetings that never occurred." Partner Daphne Sterling spoke first. "The appears conclusive. We need external investigation immediately." Daphne Whitmore nodded. "I'm contacting the Office of Economic Fraud Investigation. This requires professional oversight. Professional conduct investigator Lisa Park arrived Tuesday afternoon. Mid-40s, sharp suit, carrying a briefcase that suggested serious business. She established herself in our largest conference room and began interviewing partners individually. My session lasted 3 hours. She reviewed every document, questioned every timeline, verified every digital trail. Her questions were precise, methodical, designed to test the quote's integrity. The billing fraud is straightforward, she said. The litigation sabotage is more complex. We'll need forensic analysis of your computer systems. The forensic team arrived Wednesday. 3 technicians with specialized equipment, imaging hard drives, analyzing server logs, reconstructing deleted files. They worked methodically through our digital infrastructure. Desmond hired criminal defense counsel Thursday. Word spread quickly through Louisville's legal community. Whispered conversations in courthouse hallways. Speculation about partnership dissolution. Questions about client trust accounts. The forensic report confirmed everything. Desmond had obtained my login credentials through keylogger software installed on shared computers. He had systematically accessed my files, downloaded originals, uploaded corrupted versions, and maintained hidden archives, proving his deliberate sabotage. The billing fraud was equally documented. Phantom time entries, fabricated client consultations, inflated hourly rates applied retroactively to completed work, $300,000 in fraudulent charges across 18 months. Lisa Park presented her findings Friday afternoon. The partnership gathered in our main conference room, faces grim with the weight of professional scandal. The supports charges of professional misconduct, client fraud, and computer crimes, she announced. Mr. Blackstone systematically defrauded clients while sabotaging his partner's professional reputation. Desmond sat silently, his attorney taking notes. The confident partner who had built his reputation on my destroyed work now faced criminal charges and professional discipline. The Kentucky Bar Association filed formal complaints the following Monday. Professional misconduct, client fraud, violation of professional responsibility rules. The charges would likely result in disbarment and criminal prosecution. Our clients required immediate notification. 12 estate planning accounts affected by fraudulent billing. 7 appellate cases compromised by sabotaged filings. Each client deserved explanation, restitution, and new representation if desired. I spent 2 weeks managing client transitions, explaining the fraud without compromising ongoing cases, arranging refunds for overbilled services, coordinating with new counsel for clients who chose to leave the firm. The estate planning clients were surprisingly understanding. Most appreciated the firm's immediate disclosure and full restitution. Several chose to remain with us despite the betrayal by their former attorney. The appellate cases required more complex resolution. Courts needed notification about the sabotaged filings. Opposing counsel deserved explanation for the technical failures they had endured. Some cases required complete refiling with corrected briefs. Judge Morrison, who had questioned my competence during the Henderson appeal, called personally after receiving our disclosure letter. This explains the technical issues we've been seeing. Your reputation is restored, counselor. The partnership voted unanimously to expel Desmond. His equity interest was forfeited. His name was removed from firm letterhead. His office was cleared and secured pending criminal investigation. I helped coordinate the transition for his remaining clients. Most chose to stay with the firm, trusting our handling of the crisis over uncertainty with unknown counsel. Several specifically requested my representation going. The criminal charges were filed in Jefferson County Circuit Court. Computer fraud, theft by deception, professional misconduct. Desmond faced potential prison time alongside certain disbarment. His defense strategy focused on minimizing the sabotage while claiming the billing issues were clerical errors. But the forensic was overwhelming. Hidden directories, keylogger software, systematic pattern of deliberate corruption. The plea negotiations lasted 6 weeks. Desmond's attorney sought reduced charges in exchange for full restitution and cooperation. The prosecutor demanded accountability for both the financial fraud and professional sabotage. The final plea agreement included 18 months in prison, full restitution of fraudulent billing, and permanent disbarment. Desmond would also pay damages for the appellate cases requiring refiling and the professional reputation damage he had caused. I testified at his sentencing hearing, not for revenge, but for closure. The judge needed to understand the systematic nature of his betrayal, the deliberate destruction of professional relationships, the calculated damage to client interests. Mr. Blackstone violated the fundamental trust that underlies our legal system, I told the court. His actions damaged not only his victims but the profession itself. The sentence was imposed on a cold December morning. 18 months incarceration, 5 years probation, permanent disbarment, full restitution totaling $400,000 including damages and legal fees. Desmond showed no emotion as the bailiff led him away. The confident partner who had systematically destroyed my reputation now faced the consequences of his calculated betrayal. The firm survived the scandal stronger than before. Our immediate disclosure and full cooperation with investigators demonstrated integrity under pressure. Several new clients specifically chose us because of our handling of the crisis. I was promoted to senior partner in January, taking over Desmond's former responsibilities while maintaining my appellate practice. The partnership had learned valuable lessons about oversight, accountability, and the importance of protecting both clients and colleagues from internal threats. The legal community's response was overwhelmingly supportive. Colleagues who had witnessed my professional struggles now understood the systematic sabotage behind my apparent incompetence. My reputation was not only restored but enhanced by my role in exposing the fraud. But the real victory was justice served and trust restored. 6 months later, I stood in my new corner office overlooking the Ohio River. The nameplate read, Trevor Worthington, Managing Partner, in simple brass lettering. The promotion felt earned rather than given. The firm had restructured completely after Desmond's conviction. New oversight protocols governed all case management systems. Mandatory quarterly audits of billing records and document access logs. Partner accountability measures that would have prevented his systematic sabotage. My appellate practice had grown beyond expectations. Word spread quickly through the legal community about the quality of work that had been deliberately undermined. Clients who had received substandard representation due to Desmond's sabotage returned with new cases and referrals. The broken hyperlink scandal became a cautionary tale in continuing legal education seminars. I spoke at 3 conferences about digital security in law firms. The story resonated with attorneys who understood how easily technology could be weaponized by trusted colleagues. Daphne Blackstone had been promoted to senior associate after her crucial role in the investigation. Her attention to detail and unwavering loyalty during the crisis proved invaluable. She now headed our internal compliance department, ensuring no future betrayals could take root. The Office of Economic Fraud Investigation used our case as a model for detecting financial fraud in professional partnerships. Lisa Park's thorough investigation had uncovered patterns that helped identify similar schemes in other firms across the state. I received regular updates on Desmond's incarceration. He was serving his sentence at a minimum security facility, working in the law library. The irony was not lost on me. His legal knowledge, once used for betrayal, now helped other inmates with basic legal research. The restitution payments arrived monthly, like clockwork. $400,000 distributed over 5 years. The money went directly to affected clients and the firm's recovery fund. Justice measured in precise financial terms. My personal life had stabilized as well. The stress of constant professional sabotage had taken its toll on relationships and health. With the truth revealed and justice served, I could focus on building rather than defending. The legal community's memory was long but fair. Colleagues who had witnessed my apparent incompetence now understood the systematic nature of Desmond's betrayal. My reputation was stronger than before the crisis began. I helped circulate anonymous surveys on firm betrayal rates through the Louisville Bar Association. The data reveals disturbing patterns of internal fraud and professional sabotage, knowledge that could prevent future victims from experiencing what I endured. The survey results showed that 30% of attorneys suspected colleague misconduct but never reported it. Fear of retaliation, lack of, or simple disbelief prevented action. My case demonstrated the importance of investigation over assumption. New associates received mandatory training on recognizing signs of internal fraud, document tampering, billing irregularities, unusual system access patterns. The warning signs that could have exposed Desmond's scheme months earlier. The partnership had learned that trust without verification was dangerous. Professional relationships required both confidence and accountability. Blind faith in colleagues could enable systematic betrayal. My corner office overlooked the courthouse where Desmond had been sentenced. A daily reminder that justice, though sometimes delayed, ultimately prevailed. The legal system had worked exactly as designed. The broken hyperlinks that had destroyed my professional reputation were now part of legal history. A case study in digital sabotage and the importance of technological security in modern law practice. Evening light reflected off the river as I reviewed the day's cases. Clean files, verified documents, secure systems. The paranoia had faded, replaced by reasonable caution and systematic verification. The firm's reputation had not only recovered, but grown stronger. Clients trusted us because we had proven our integrity under the worst possible circumstances. Transparency and accountability had become our competitive advantages. Desmond's empty office had been converted into a conference room. The space where betrayal was planned now hosted client meetings and strategy sessions. Transformation complete. It was finally over, and the silence felt earned.